Hello and welcome. My name's Campbell and this is Autodidactic channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day and thanks for joining me. And today I'm going to have a look at this map. Now this map is an 1827 map of Australia, allegedly, but there's a bit of controversy around it, mainly because, as you can see, there's a big inland sea and what's that, tributary river water system. It's quite huge when you understand how big Australia is. Another thing is these mountain ranges. They don't seem to be present anymore. And another point is the naming. Austral India at the top. Up here it says Australia. Down here we've got Anglicania. Western Australia is still there. And that's Eastern Australia. So we've got 4 different regions here. And the other thing we have is towns everywhere. Now, in Australia, especially Western Australia, there's not that many towns up and down here today, let alone in 1827, and the same across the Nullarbor here. There's towns in strange places, and for 1827, there's a lot of towns. And this is just another rendering of the same map. It's just a bit easier to read. Sketch of the coast of Australia and of the shippered entrances of the Great River, which is here, the Great River. A diagram of the surveying stature, blah blah blah, friend of Australia, 1827. And so up here, look, we've got, can I read this? Okay, so French, is it? Beaufort? I'm not sure what that says. Cape Villoral, by the looks of it. Bitchute. These all look French. New West Cape, New. This looks Dutch. The Dutch landed up here on the north coast of Western Australia in the late 1600s, so that will make sense. But the French, haven't heard of them being around. See, Burnie. Not sure. Gantheon Bay, Jurien Bay. We've still got Jurien Bay today. And this is Perth here. This would be the Swan River. Perrin, so yeah, we've still got Point Perrin. Leschenault, that's a name, C. Leschenault. So we have lots of, I've got like Lake Leschenault here and different plants and things around like that. Geograph Bay, we've still got Cape Naturalist, we've still got. So this sort of area, King George Sound, yeah, is all named the same. And we do have, that's where our range is. It's not that big. It's not a mountain range. It's hills. Until you get down south to the Stirling Ranges. But yeah, these are just hills. What's this? Not sure. Can't read them all. But no Perth. There's no marking for Perth here. Henderson. Now we've definitely still got lots of Hendersons around. Can't read that. That's his Perrin. That's Point Perrin. So no Perth mark there, which is interesting. Down here, no Albany. And this coastline is different as well. That's a lot more rounded. Could just be the map, who knows. Over here we should have Adelaide, and we don't. We've just got all these bays. Howlers Bay, that's still there. Coffins Bay. So maybe they're just not naming. That's Port Phillip Bay. So this is where Melbourne is. So it looks like they're just not naming the major cities, which is interesting. This is Grant's Land. Grant's lucky. And of course, no Tasmania drawn in it. And this looks like a horse. See, look at that. It's a horsey's head. So, getting back to it. Look at this waterway, and we've got all these islands and things going down into, they call it a lake here, but it's a pretty huge lake. So, big inland lake or sea, and lots of rivers running right across the top end here, which at the moment there's nothing there. It's all desert, so that waterway would make a huge difference in Australia. So let's have a look into the story a little bit. And here we are on bigthink.com, and it says, the Americans have the Mississippi and the Amazon. Africa has the Nile, and Asia has the Ganges and the Mekong, among others. So why wouldn't Australia have a large river system or an inland sea? Early surveyors of the unexplored centre of west of Australia, fanning out from the earlier settled east, kept on the lookout for Australia's Amazon, or at least a large body of water, possibly connected to the outside ocean. And in 1827, former East India Company officer Thomas J. Maslin published his map of that inland sea in his book The Friend of Australia, which provided instructions for surveying and exploring the island continent's interior. In retrospect, those instructions aren't very useful. Maslin extrapolated that Macquarie and Castlereagh rivers as headwaters of a huge river flowing across Australia into the Indian Ocean of Australia's northwest coast. So basically they say he's drawn a map, but it was really just based on speculation. And I'm just on a blog site here which is Passing Strangeness, and this is again on the same map, and it goes into how it was drawn, blah blah blah, and then it says author David Lavelle has recently documented how the convicts came to believe a distorted version of their educated belief that Australia might well be watered inland, and how that eventually fed back into the theories of the colony's upper class decades later. Among the Irish convicts in particular, the rumour began to spread that China was less than 200 miles walk to the north, and so they started walking. In a matter of a few months, a significant fraction of all the transportee Irish in Australia were dead or missing. It talks about, El Dorado. So this is touching on the Crystal City that we're looking for. If you have not seen those videos, go check out Autodidactic channel. And down here, it gets into more. But basically, what the story is here, and you'll see here, is they say it's all a mythical map. Basically, they call him an armchair Maslin. They call him an armchair cartographer, I guess. And basically, they say he never went to Australia, and he just, this was all based on theories and hearsay, and there was no evidence that there was ever an inland sea, and that's basically the official story. This is State Library. Belief in an inland sea reached to its peak when Thomas J. Maslin published this map in 1827. Early coastal explorations had failed to discover a river that gave access to the interior. Maslin's map showed the Macquarie and the Castlereagh rivers discovered by Oxley and Evans as the headwaters of a mighty river flowing across the delta of Australia. He labelled the north of the continent Austral India and the south Anglicania. This map represents the interior as it was popularly believed, blah blah blah. A truer picture has emerged. The inland sea was a myth, and in time the Dead Sea level of the continent would come to be more accurately known as the Dead Heart of Australia. So that's the story, that it is a fake. So let's have a look and see if it is true. Is it fact or is it fiction? Okay, so here this is an height elevation map of Australia, and as you can see, the green bits are the lowest and the darker brown bits are the highest. So obviously the mountain range is up here, so dark green is the lowest point. And now this is on that map, the river comes in around here, and it's just kind of interesting, isn't it, that there is a low point through there, and even all the way down to the ocean here. Now this next one is a bit more interesting because it shows the rivers and waterways, and the last one didn't. And I mean, there's actually more water in WA than I thought. But again, we've got the high elevation here, and see, this is the deepest bit, and you know, we've got rivers look like they're sort of running into a basin almost. And you know, we have this sort of water trail down this way and down this way. So interesting. So I thought we'd go and have a look at Google Earth. Okay, so here we are on the Google Earths, and if we have a look, you know, it doesn't really, can't see that much. Bit of a trail down there. But what I did is I got that map and I superimposed it over the top. And as you can see, it fit pretty well. Let's get this up. So you can see that's Google, and as I bring it in, it's pretty good, I think. I think I've got it on pretty well. So what we can do is we can see this actual inland sea now. So as you'll see, it's coming in here, or you know, going out there maybe. So if we go down here and have a look, what do we find? But this looks like, when you tell me, does this look like a big sort of delta from a river with a bit of flow? And see how it's also got all these sort of, we can see like little rivulets, are they called, tributaries? But it looks like there's islands everywhere. And if we look at this, well, I wonder if the islands match up, because there's a lot of islands on this map. See, there's islands all through this river. Now this is, unfortunately, I put this one on before I found a bigger map, so it's not the best. But yeah, see how there's islands all through there, and a big island there. Oh look, and you can see I've got the coastline's a bit different here, but see that? See how there's an island here on the map? When we go to the coastline, it looks like it's now part of the coastline, right at what used to be, or what this map is saying was the river mouth. So that's interesting. So it says basically the river would have come down here as well. So, well, look at this. We've got the edge of a river there. So there's still water flowing around, and yeah, we have all these funny islandy bits up here. Alright, so let's see what else we can find. So this is, let's have a look down here. Does this look rivery? And look at that, so there should be, can you see that? 1, 2, 3 islands, or a few islands. And what do we get? Do we get any high points? I mean, that looks like a hill, doesn't it? And now what I discovered is, along this, you know, this path, you get these. Can you see these lines? Now when you zoom in on them, let's find a good bit. What you see is, it's actually lows and highs. Now is that map still there? No, that's just the ground. I thought that was a shadow for a minute. But yeah, see all these high bit, low bit, right? Can you see that? Now that's what you get when water runs across sand, right? Look at it, it's all the way up here. All the land looks like it's had water running over it. Well, that's what it looks like to me. What do you think? I mean, can you see this stuff? It's everywhere, and so is that. We're still in river. Yep, so that's still the edge of the river. So what happens if we go down here, I wonder, and just sort of get out of it? Are we still going to get them? This could kill my theory. I mean, there's still some there for sure. It looks a bit different. Lots of water bits around here. Okay, and then when we come up here, see, that map's not a perfect match, but see up here, it's all smooth. You see that? That like it's smooth. We don't have those rivulets. Is that what they're called? Where if we come down here past this water line, that was my kitty cat. Yes, past this, which looks like an old kind of water line. Then suddenly, look, see how it's all highs and lows, like rivulets, like water's been running across it, and then it's gone. And this stuff goes all the way across. Look, it's just heaps of it. Everywhere. So, looks like water was running there at some point, right? Well, I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Let's have a look at the ocean or the lake, the sea. Is it a low point? You know, it's a bit hard to see on Google, but it kind of looks like, you know, it's going down into a basin, and then mark some places out. I don't know what they are. Little spots, and they all happen to be around the edge of that. Oh, okay, there's like a little hill there. They all seem to be around the edge of, see, the ocean, the sea. Oh, they're far off the edge, but this one, see, there's none actually in where the ocean. How did we get over there? Where the ocean used to be, which is down here. We've got water running through there. So, and of course we don't have those. Oh, we do have those. There we go. So water has run across here as well. So, because obviously there's no water here at the moment. So if there used to be an inland sea, it would have all had to empty at some point, and that would have been a lot of running water, which would cause an effect like this, you would think. Well, I would think. See, bits of water trapped in there. So what happened if that was a sea, right, an inland sea? You can see there's a main river coming out here and down here. So to empty it, I'm thinking it's flowed this way. If it flowed this way, obviously it had a big track to go through, but this way, what would it have done if it came down here? Because as we saw, that was a low point in the elevation map. And as you see, we have all this, you know, almost like trapped bits of water and all this flow, all these lines everywhere. Looks like tree bark, doesn't it? Maybe it is. Maybe it's maybe it's all just an illusion. But see how we have that sort of flow area. So from here all the way down, you can see these massive flow lines and what looked like to be, you know, where the water was trapped. Got some rivers still going, and see, look, they're in there. Look at these lines. Like something has like just flowed over the top of, you know, land. And then you get down here, we get some more water trapped. It looks like they've turned into salt lakes. And then here's another, look at that, another, is that a lake? What's it called? Yep, that's a lake. So again, it looks like a salt lake, but so can you see what I mean? It looks like if this was the inland sea, it looks like something's broken. We've got all this flow. I mean, look at it there, and all the way down, and water caught, and then down into the ocean. And it looks like a bit of it went this way, and a lot got caught there. So what do you think? So just to show you, let's get this map up again. So you can see if something here broke, water would have flowed across there, through here and down this way, which is what it looks like it's done. And so there would have been, this would have been the bit that would have got, you know, hit the hardest. Where was that? So up here, that kind of area, and look what we get. Looks like a heap of dirt almost, doesn't it? Has been pushed out, just sort of see that. So what do you think? Was there an inland sea? And is that the remains of some kind of weapon? Look at all these Liechtenstein marks. Look at that big one. So yeah, what do you think? Was there an inland sea in Australia? And if there was, what happened to it? Like, why did this end get blown out, and you know, now we've got nothing? And also, how long ago are we talking? Like, because if there it's back again. If there was the inland sea, you know, we've got these, you know, some familiar names, some names that are not familiar, that are not there anymore, that I've never heard of. You know, different namings in the 1820s for the continent that never heard of. So, you know, we know that they play with time a lot, right? And date lines and all this stuff. So I'm thinking, I mean, it looks, you know, when you look at the landscape, it looks like it was there, and that it got, you know, dam busted. But when? You know, was it 1827 or just after that? Is that possible? It's a lot of water. You know, I would think we'd still have lakes maybe, who knows? It's a pretty hot country. Or is this from like another time? Is this like maybe 600 years old, 800 years old? What it used to look like before the changeover, shall we say. So, there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did we have an inland ocean? Is it fact or fiction? And if so, what do you think happened? You know, is this natural disaster, you know, caused by beings? I won't say man-made, but by beings. Yeah, what do you think? Leave a comment below. So thanks for spending some time with me, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. As always, big thanks to everyone who does support me and my work. I really do appreciate you all. It definitely helps me survive and get through these weird days. And of course, if you'd like to help, there are links below. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a like and share this video around to help get this information out to a wider audience, because as we know, all this alternative history and Tartarian consciousness is a very good way of waking people up to what's really been going on, who's really pulling the shots down here. And when they see that, that they can see the bigger illusion, shall we say. So yeah, make sure you share it around. So guys, thanks again. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.